The nature of life is that we don't truly know what will happen next. We wake up each day with plans, expectations, and quiet assumptions about how things should unfold. But life rarely follows a straight line. It turns without warning. It interrupts our momentum. It asks questions we didn't prepare answers for. And while uncertainty can feel unsettling, it is not a flaw in life. It is the condition of being alive. Life is unpredictable, sometimes mysterious, sometimes confusing, and sometimes painfully unfair. Yet it is precisely this uncertainty that keeps life real, dynamic, and meaningful. If everything were predictable, growth would stop. If every outcome were guaranteed, courage would become unnecessary. The unknown is uncomfortable, but it is also the space where learning happens. Still, knowing this doesn't make difficult moments easier to live through. When things fall apart, when plans fail, when progress slows down, it hurts. And it's okay to admit that. No matter how capable you are, no matter how disciplined, intelligent, or talented you may be, there will be moments when things do not go your way. There will be efforts that lead nowhere, relationships that change or end, opportunities that disappear. You can do everything right and still face disappointment. This doesn't mean you are weak. It means you are human, moving through a world that does not bend itself to our expectations. Life has a way of teaching lessons that don't arrive gently. Sometimes it whispers, but sometimes it strikes hard. And when that happens, it's natural to feel exhausted, discouraged, or lost. It's natural to question your choices, your abilities, even your worth. Many people feel shame for having these thoughts, but there is no shame in being affected by pressure. Feeling like giving up doesn't mean you should give up. It means you've been carrying more than you were meant to carry alone. One of the most important things to remember during hard times is this: what you are experiencing right now is not permanent. Pain feels endless when you are inside it, but pain does not stay the same forever. Circumstances change, emotions shift, even situations that feel stuck eventually move. The Buddha expressed this truth simply when he said, "All conditioned things are impermanent," not as a threat, but as reassurance. This includes joy, success, and ease, but it also includes suffering, confusion, and struggle. What you are living through right now is not your entire story. It is a chapter, a difficult one perhaps, but not the whole book. When you are inside a chapter of loss or uncertainty, it can feel as if it defines everything. But one day you will turn the page, even if you cannot yet imagine how. And when you do, this chapter will remain part of your story, not as a punishment, but as a source of depth. We often believe that a meaningful life should be smooth and uninterrupted, but stories that inspire people are never built that way. No one is moved by a story where everything worked perfectly from the start. What resonates are stories shaped by effort, doubt, and perseverance. Stories where the person could have quit but didn't. Difficulty adds texture to life. Struggle creates understanding. Without challenge, growth remains shallow. The hardest moments of your life are not wasted time. They are shaping you quietly. They build resilience, patience, and awareness. One day, what you survived may become something that helps someone else survive. Your experience may turn into guidance, empathy, or reassurance for someone walking a similar path. Pain, when reflected on with honesty, often transforms into wisdom. When life becomes heavy, your world can shrink. Your thoughts circle the same fears. Your attention becomes trapped in what's wrong, what's missing, what hurts. In those moments, here is something practical that can help. Help someone else, not because you have all the answers, not because you are strong, but because helping shifts your focus outward and breaks the isolation that suffering creates. Helping someone doesn't erase your problems. It doesn't suddenly make everything better, but it reminds you that even in difficulty, you are still connected to life. You still have the capacity to care, to notice, to contribute. And that matters. It restores a sense of meaning when everything feels pointless. When you help someone, even in a small way, you step outside the loop of self-judgment and mental exhaustion. The Buddha once said, if you light a lamp for someone else, it will also brighten your path. This is not about self-sacrifice or ignoring your own pain. It is about recognizing that compassion moves in both directions. When you have suffered, you understand others more deeply. You listen differently. You respond with more patience. And that shared humanity softens even the hardest days. At the same time, it is important to remember that helping others does not mean neglecting yourself. It is okay to rest. It is okay to pause. It is okay to slow down when you are exhausted. Rest is not quitting. Pausing is not failure. Giving yourself time is not weakness. Sometimes the most responsible choice is to stop pushing and allow yourself to recover. We live in a world that glorifies speed, instant results, instant success, instant answers. Social media reinforces the illusion that everything meaningful happens quickly, but real life does not work that way. Real growth takes time. Confidence builds slowly. Emotional stability develops gradually. Relationships deepen through consistency, not urgency. Healing unfolds in stages, not overnight transformations. If you feel impatient or anxious because progress seems slow, it does not mean you are doing something wrong. It means you are human in a system that moves faster than the nervous system was designed to handle. The Buddha warned against this kind of restless striving when he said, "There is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path." Rushing toward an imagined future often steals peace from the present. As long as you are alive, there is space for change. As long as you are breathing, there is room for growth. Even if today feels heavy, even if you feel behind, even if you doubt yourself, nothing is finished yet. You can still learn. You can still adapt. You can still become more grounded, more resilient, and more aware than before. One day you may look back at this period and realize it taught you things success never could. You may feel proud not because everything worked out perfectly, but because you stayed, because you didn't abandon yourself when life became difficult, because you learned how to continue with honesty rather than force. So if you are going through a tough time, remember this. Rest when you need to. Slow down when you must. Ask for help when it's available. Help others when you can, but do not quit on yourself. Keep moving forward, one small step at a time. This chapter will change, and when it does, you will carry something valuable with you. Strength you didn't know you were building, understanding you didn't know you were gaining, and a story that proves you survived. Not by avoiding difficulty, but by meeting it with patience and courage.